Okay, so based off of imbalances seen in the video of the Core 4, I've assigned several correctives to see if we can make the Core 4 lifts look better. So we're going to start out with some shoulder stretches and exercise. What we're going to start with first is a 10-pound medicine ball, just wrestler halos. So, and we're doing this for 3 sets of 10. Take a little break and then we're going to go back into another set for 2 more sets. And this is going to help keep the shoulders, not only work the flexibility, but also add a load to the flexibility to improve the stability during the range of motion. Ready to go again? Okay.
Next, and I did all 10 one leg, next set I'll do 10.
Good.
Another way. Like that.
Alright, that's fine. And we're going to do one more set. Whenever you're ready. Okay, so now that was more of a almost resistance training, so now we're going to do some stretches with light weight to improve his range of motion. We're going to start with just shoulder bar rolls, so just find a good grip. We're going to do this again for 3 sets of 10. Easy grip. This will help improve his overhead squat and snatch, being able to get the bar to sit over his heels. And notice during these he's keeping the bar at a controlled rhythm, so we're not jerking anything, you don't want to pull anything. Keep it nice controlled.
Ready?
Yeah, whenever you're ready. So we're going to do this for 2 more sets. Also notice how he's keeping his arms fully extended, so that he's working the maximum range of motion. You bend your elbows, makes it easier. You can't get the full range of motion like you would in a snatch, so, or in the overhead squat. And whenever you're ready. And the wider the grip, the easier it is to move back. Narrower the grip requires greater flexibility. Okay, so now we're done with that. We're going to do a similar exercise, but it's a variation on just the bar roll, which is a modified circular bar roll, which is takes the same thing, but we're just going to roll it. And what this is going to do is this is going to engage the core while engaging the shoulder flexibility too. So this is just going to be good everywhere. You need that core stability when doing the overhead squat to keep the trunk from leaning forward. Okay. Since we just did, that was a little much doing the bar rolls there, so we're just going to do 3 sets of 5 for this, just because don't want to blow out the shoulders.
Okay, so you're done.
Sorry. So just keep it straight, same thing. We're just going to roll it, keep your elbows straight, and just kind of twist it in your back. Yeah, like that. Okay. Good. This first set. And then with this variation, the first one was just front to back. This is hitting all angles of the shoulder in the full range of motion. So we're covering more with this exercise than with the previous. Are you ready? Okay. And that's it for the shoulders, what we've worked so far. Now we're going to move into some hip mobility. I noticed in the video his hip stability is very good. He's able to, do the weight properly. There wasn't much problem in hip mobility, but you can always have more mobile hips. So what we're going to start with is just finding a place on the wall. And we're just going to be doing basic hip circles, inside and outside, with both legs.
5 each one?
Yeah, yeah, just 3 sets of 5.
Each way?
Yeah, each way. So we're doing this for 3 sets of 5, each direction, inside or outside, then inside. Now while this is a good mobility drill, this is also a good making the hips stronger in several directions, keeping good balance and proper form. So how the motion is controlled. All these movements are controlled movements. Doing less reps with these so as not to fatigue the hips. You fit? Okay. We'll keep it at 2 sets there for right now because that motion, doing it a lot, can cause hip fatigue. We're going to go into now is a variety of stretches for the hips. First one we're going to start with is just a set down with the leg full outside the hands and just lower as far as you can and try and move the hip above your hands as far as you can go. So just start from a push-up position. You can put one knee down and then just put one leg outside the hands and then come up off that knee, or you can come down if you want. And then try and get low to the floor as you can. We're going to hold this 2 sets for 20 seconds. Okay, and now we're going to do the other leg. Hold this for 20 seconds. And we're going to go back again for one more set with the other leg. And one more with the other leg. That's it for that stretch. We're going to do one more stretch for the hip. It's called the scorpion. What he's going to do is come down similar to the last stretch. But the leg is going to be closer. Going to be leg flat on the ground. He's going to come back on his buttocks and stretch this leg back. Keep the chest up. If you want to come down, we're going to hold 10 seconds up and 10 seconds down for 2 sets each leg. And down. And you can switch legs. And down.
One's tighter.
Okay, and one more set with each leg. And this is a good stretch because it doesn't just stretch one hip, but also stretches the rest of the core. And down. Okay, and switch legs. And down. Okay, that's good. And now we're going to move into sort of a hip exercise, but it's also a good stretch. These are knee holdouts. What he's going to do here is you can have hands here, get in a squat position at the bottom. You're just going to open your hips in and out. You can do it with your hands like this. If you're more advanced, put your fists together. For this, we'll do hands together like that. Okay.
How many?
We'll do 2 sets of 10 reps. This is a really good exercise to do for those wanting to improve their squatting, because you're sitting in the bottom of the squat position, which is where most people get stuck at, right here. Working a range of motion right here really help out to really bring your chest up when you're doing a squat. Now you ready? One more set, 10. First set loosened you up. Excuse me. Okay, that's it for the hip. That was a lot of good mobility drills. Now we're going to go into lower back exercises and stretches. And what we're going to start with is a classic back extension on a stability ball with a bar. We're going to do this for 2 sets of 10. Okay. Okay, set. We'll do 3 sets of 10. These are easy grind. Now notice when he comes down, his back remains flat. There's no rounding at the bottom. You want to keep it stable when you come down and when you come up. This is, how you feel?
Yeah.
Good? We'll do 3 sets of this.
Alright.
It's on you. Now the lumbar muscles are supposed to be stable, and this will really work them to make them more stable. Especially helps in all the squatting and the deadlift. You really want to make sure your torso is kept rigid and upright. You don't want to be bending too much.
Start feeling that a little bit.
I don't know. You want to cut it short, or do you want one more set? Okay. So we'll do one more set of this, then a couple other stretches, and then we'll finish the correctives. Yeah, on you, man, on you. Having the bar there also will help in shoulder position as well. Kind of forces him to come up at full extension. Okay, so there's your back strengthening. Now we're going to loosen up the back with some mobility drills. First one we're going to do is sky reaches. So we're going to get in the full squatted position. Hands here. We're going to reach up. Come back down. Reach it up. Come back down. If you can't get full extension on the arm, just do the elbow. Come up. Come up. Low control movements. 2 sets of 10.
That side's tighter.
Oh yeah? Good, let's open it up. And again, he's in the fully squatted position, which is the sticking point for a lot of people with their imbalances. Do one more set of 10 on each side and finish up that movement. This exercise can also be held instead of repping. It can also be held just a static hold if you want to keep want a good stretch. Back feel good?
Yeah, it's always tight, but it's feeling better.
All right, man. Means they're working. Alright, so we got one more stretch. We're just going to do this for one set because this isn't one you want to do too much of. Basic stretches here. Come back, touch the ground. I'm going to hold that. I don't think he can get that far, so I'm going to passively aid him in this stretch to a point where he feels like he's getting a good stretch, and we're just going to hold that for about 20 seconds or so. And one set of this because this is a all-inclusive back stretch. So go ahead and sit down, go back as far as you can, and I'll help you out a little bit. Okay. Let me know when.
That's good.
Okay. Alrighty. And that is it for the correctives based on imbalances seen. Do you feel corrected?
I feel corrected.
Alrighty then. That's it.